This is the drone video for the acreage with the old original homestead on the Finley River east of Springfield. We're we're a couple hundred feet in the air. We're looking northerly. We're over the south side of the property. On the right, you can see a county road. You can actually see part of the old house there on the lower right. We're transitioning to the west here. And this is a fairly long video, so I think we will have a chance to see most of the property as we continue here. By the way, go to InstantAcres.com if you want to see if this tract is still available. Everything on our website is available with complete seller financing, low down payments, no credit checks, low monthly payments, all that good stuff. We make it super simple to own quality property. So right now we're looking westerly. We're looking at the south section of the property, which is heavily wooded. And we're getting in kind of close here. I'm hoping we get a decent look at the old house and a couple of the old buildings. On the left, you can see the easement road, which runs along the south end of the property. And there's the old house, what's left of it. A couple small outbuildings. We found a drilled well, and we found what looks like an old dug well. Pretty interesting. Tons of walnut trees. I mean, they must have planted them or really like walnut trees, because there are dozens and dozens of walnut trees on this tract. So you've got a large area of open meadow on the south side. We're looking westerly. Okay. It appears to be a really nice meadow. Sometimes it's hard to see from the air, but it appears to be really nice, either for a yard or whatnot. Right above us is the power line, by the way. I think we almost hit that with the drone. So you've got power directly on the south part of the property. And we're just trying to get away from these trees, I think, so we can get a better look at this. But I mean, you've got prime building sites on the south end. The property goes, as you'll see in a second when we get up in the air, it goes across the county gravel road, and then you have a beautiful open meadow that goes northerly toward the river with another fringe of mature timber, actually. So yeah, but this south part, I mean, this is just, there's generally a reason that people picked the spots they did when they built these homesteads years ago. And oftentimes it had to do with the access to water, and also just kind of the feeling they had, basically. I mean, if we think a site is a beautiful site, they might have too, and that could be why they chose it. So now we're looking westerly. Okay, we're backing up. Now we're looking northerly. At that little barn you just saw in the lower right corner, that is not on the property, that's on an adjacent property. But the truck is parked on the property toward the south side. That easement road actually hasn't been mowed this year, so it's kind of hard to see, but that borders the south, basically the south end of the property. We've got the county road on the right, and then the county road goes up out of view and kind of tees with another county road, and we'll see that in a second when we do the flyover. The property is the widest on the south end, where the truck is parked. And once we go north and cross Olga Road, O-L-G-A, Olga Road, the county road, then it becomes, I believe, about 200 feet wide. And it remains that wide all the way to the river. And actually, this is one of the special tracts that goes directly across the river. So you own both sides of the Finley. Looks like we had a few clouds in the sky when we were doing the drone video out there. Okay, so you can see the mature timber. We're flying northerly, obviously. If you look at the meadow directly in front of us, the guys are actually mowing this property. They've mowed both sides, and they're working on the center strip right now. That's this tract that they're working on. They left quite a few small trees. They said those were walnut trees, and they wanted to go ahead and leave those younger walnut trees. So that's Olga Road. And the property continues across Olga Road, and that's where we have this other big, beautiful meadow area. So obviously that meadow that you see right there is flat. As we go southerly, it rises up from Olga Road and then levels off as you get toward the south side where the homestead is and where the truck is parked. So yeah, we're directly over the meadow part of the property. That unmowed strip would be the center, and that mowed strip on each side would be the edges of it. So about 200 feet wide. So nice and wide even on that north part. Like basically any properties adjacent to a major river, most of this meadow is going to be within the FEMA flood zone. But the really interesting part is the south part of this meadow does not appear to be in the flood zone. So apparently it rises up just enough, and you can check out the flood map at InstantAcres.com that we pulled from our MapRight program. But that'll show you, I mean, it's pretty unusual to have a beautiful rich bottomland meadow that has a section out of the flood zone, so that's really cool. So now we're at the north end, and in a moment we'll continue going north and we'll check out the river. Looking southerly at the meadow area. When those guys were mowing it, I mean, it was mowing out just beautifully. It looked like a yard or a golf course, basically. Okay. The Finley River, Finley Creek, I mean, it's called different things. I've seen it both ways, but the Finley in this spot is beautiful. It's clear, it's wide. You can see the fish, bass, catfish, crappie. It's awesome for swimming, for floating, fishing, of course. Just a beautiful, clean, you know, kind of unspoiled river. It's nice to see that clear spring-fed water. And there it is. There's the Finley River. Wide in this section, gravel bottom, cloud passing over us. And as we mentioned earlier, this is one of those rare river tracks where you actually own both sides. So it rises up as you go north across the river, and not that you would ever necessarily build there, although you probably could build on the north side if you wanted to, but it keeps things private. It keeps someone else from building or camping there, so pretty great to have that. The deer and the turkey in this area are just phenomenal. You'll see big white-tailed deer, you'll see turkey, excellent for hunting. I mean, the recreation is great, but also the building opportunities are pretty spectacular as well. And all this, and we're only about 20 miles east of Springfield, Missouri. Look at that gorgeous river. I mean, it looks like we're just, I mean, we are kind of in the heart of the Ozarks here, east of Springfield, but it looks like we're hours from civilization in this beautiful terrain. But we're actually only 20 miles from Springfield. It's fantastic. Easy to get here from Springfield. Just go east on Highway 60 through the little town of Rogersville, and then go south on Highway U for about 2 miles. You'll see Olga Road going east. So you'll go left, you'll go east onto Olga for a couple miles, and you'll cross the low water bridge that crosses the Finley, and then you just have about another quarter mile or so to go, and you'll see the property. And you can come in from the other direction as well, and in fact, if you come in from the other direction, from the east, you can take paved roads to within about a quarter mile of the property. But you can go either way. Just a gorgeous, gorgeous property, jeez. Panning around to get a look at the area. The old homestead, I mean, it's really unique. We poked around there just a little bit. There's certainly no value to the buildings as far as rebuilding them probably, but the historic nature of it is cool. We did find that drilled well basically right at the old house, and dropped a small rock in there, and we could hear it go down for several seconds and then hit water. And we found what looks like it was the old dug well, lined with old brick. But as often happens on these old homesteads, when they upgraded to the drilled well, is the dug well kind of became a garbage pit. And that looked like the case on this one. But it would be fun to excavate it a little bit and see what you could find in that hand-dug well. What a gorgeous property. Webster County, Missouri, so there's no rural zoning outside of city limits in Webster County, which is great. It means you can build without a permit and without inspections. You do want to keep the basic property covenants in mind that are on this property, and you can read those in detail at the listing page at InstantAcres.com. But basically, your structure has to be at least 600 square feet on a concrete foundation. As we often say, if you're building any kind of standard home or cabin, then the covenants probably don't affect you one bit, but you do want to be aware of them. And now I guess we're going to fly around and, well, we're trying to get an overview here of the property, it looks like. Stunning tract. I mean, geez. This basically covers all the bases of things that people are asking us for daily. People want live water. It's got that covered. People want privacy. It's got that covered. They want mature timber. It's got that covered. They want a meadow as well. It's got that covered. They would love to have a well or an old building site. It's got that covered. They want electric on site. It's got that covered. I mean, so it's got all those things. And most people from the Ozarks want to be somewhat close to Springfield because that's kind of where all the action is. That's where all the shopping is. That's where the colleges and the hospitals and the airport and that stuff's all in Springfield. So anybody who's familiar with the Ozarks wants to be near Springfield. And this has that covered too. We're 20 minutes east of Springfield on this property. Just gorgeous. Looking down at the guys, they're just about done mowing that property. Looks like they've got 2 machines running. And I believe we're going to do a flyover to the south and then get one last overview of this tract. So this was a long drone video. If you've stuck with us, then thank you. This was much longer than the average drone video we do, but there's a lot to see on this property. Looking westerly, you can see the Finley. The Finley goes west or southwest, and then it meets up with the James River, and that's what forms Lake Springfield on the southeast side of Springfield. And then that goes down into, I believe, Table Rock Lake. Very peaceful out here, very private. So yeah, I mean, this is just kind of a unique property that has just about everything covered. Mature timber, including mature walnut trees, which is fantastic. Once the property's been paid for in full, you're welcome to log it, use the trees to build your home or your cabin, all that good stuff once it's been paid for in full, because there is definitely timber value on this property. And if those clouds would kind of move out of the way, we'd have a really good final overview of this tract. So InstantAcres.com, as we mentioned, is where you can go to check out all the details. If you don't see the property on our website, then that means it has already been sold. But please sign up for our newsletter. You can do that, I'm sure, from our homepage. And we just send out one email each week and let you know kind of what's coming up, what's available. But we won't have any more like this available. This is definitely a unique one. Beautiful section of river. Some of the rivers in the Ozarks, especially if you get a little further to the north, are kind of dirt bottoms and dirt sides. The Gasconade is like that, and although they're good for fishing, it's not as enjoyable to swim in water that's murky. It's a lot nicer to be able to see what you're swimming in, and you kind of got that covered here on the Finley. There we go, looking northerly. Beautiful Webster County, beautiful property. InstantAcres.com. We do hope to hear from you. You can call us in the office or you can email us at sales@instantacres.com. And we look forward to working with you.